Hello, Algebra 2. In this video, we are looking at Chapter 8, Lesson 3, which is Surveys, Experiments, and Observational Studies. And so, an experiment imposes a treatment on individuals to collect data on their response to the treatment, and an observational study observes individuals and measures variables without controlling the individuals or their environment in any way. So, for data from the experiment must be carefully designed. In a controlled experiment, two groups are studied under conditions that are identical except for one variable. The effects of the treatment are determined by comparing the control group and the treatment group. So, the treatment group receives the treatment, and the control group, used for comparison, does not receive treatment. So, example 1, identifying experiments and observational studies. Explain whether each situation is an experiment or an observational study. So, A researcher wants to know if a soil additive makes a fern grow more quickly. He grows one specimen in treated soil and one in untreated soil. So, since the researcher applies a treatment, the situation is an experiment. And then to find out whether car accidents are more likely on rainy days, a researcher records the weather conditions during 50 randomly selected accidents for the past year. So, since the researcher gathers data without controlling the individuals or applying a treatment, the situation is an example of an observational study. So, example 2, the study described in the report is a randomized comparative experiment. Describe the treatment group, and the control group. So, 100 arthritis sufferers reported the severity of their symptoms daily for a month. 50 of the subjects were given Epsom salt to bathe in at least every other day. At the end of the month, 30% of the subjects who used Epsom salt reported a decrease in severity of their symptoms, compared to 5% in the other group. So, the treatment is bathing in Epsom salt. The treatment group consists of the 50 subjects who bathed in Epsom salt, and the control group consists of the 50 subjects who did not. Example 3. Explain whether the research topic is best addressed through an experiment or an observational study, and then explain how you would set up the experiment or the observational study. So the first one, does using tanning beds at least twice a month affect the likelihood of developing skin diseases? So the treatment may affect health, so it is not ethical to assign individuals to a treatment group. Perform an observational study. Randomly choose one group of people who already use tanning beds at least twice a month and another group which does not. Monitor the incidence of skin diseases in both groups. And then for the second example, do people who consume 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C each day as a dietary supplement have lower cholesterol levels than people who do not consume vitamin C supplements? So 1,000 milligrams of vitamin is not known to have any negative effects, so you would conduct an experiment. Randomly choose one group of people to take the supplements and choose another to not take the supplements, and monitor the cholesterol levels in both groups. Example 4. Classify each method as a survey, an experiment, or an observational study, and explain which would be most reliable. So method A would be an observational study, method B would be a survey, and method C would be an experiment. In method A, the members of the study are self-selected, so they may have a healthy diet in general. Method B, the results are self-reported, so they may not be accurate. So method C is the most reliable. Here's another example of the same one that we just looked at, but a little different. So method A would be an experiment. Method B would be a survey, and method C would be an observational study. And so method B is the least reliable because there is no basis for comparison. Method C has a comparison group, but the members are self-selected, which could lead to bias. And in method A, the members of each group are randomly selected, so method A would be the most reliable.